Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself obsessing over someone who walked away? Have you ever felt like you were losing control, thinking, what can I do to bring them back? Listen to me. I have one truth for you today. He will come back 100%, but only if you do this. Because let me tell you something. Relationships aren't about luck. They are about strategy. They are about psychologic. They are about energy. And if you understand how to control these three things, you can shift any dynamic. Own your power. Most people chase, beg, plead. But listen, neediness repels. Confidence attracts. If you want him back, you must first step into your own power. Stop thinking, I need him. Start thinking, I am the prize. Shift from being the one who is waiting to the one who is choosing. Control your emotions, control the outcome. Think about this. The person who controls their emotions controls the relationship. If you're anxious, texting him nonstop, watching his every move, you are giving away your power. But if you pull back, focus on yourself, and radiate positivity, that energy is magnetic. He will feel it. And guess what? He will start wondering about you. The art of absence. Why don't we crave things we can't have? It's human nature. So the best way to make someone value you is to create space. Give them the gift of missing you. Stop responding instantly. Stop making yourself an option. Instead, step back and let him feel your absence. Because here's the truth. People only appreciate what they fear losing. Become irresistible. Now listen, if you want him to come back, you can't just sit around hoping. You need to be upgrading, evolving, creating a life so incredible that he looks at you and thinks, what have I done? I need to be part of that again. Hit the gym. Learn new skills. Socialize. Post with confidence. Show the world that you are growing, not grieving. Growth is the most attractive force in the universe. Triggers instincts. Let's talk about human psychology. A man's deepest instinct is to pursue. If he feels like you're slipping away, like you're in demand, like you're thriving, his instincts will kick in. He will start reaching out. Why? Because he doesn't want to lose something valuable. Take massive action. Listen, knowledge is useless without action. So today I challenge you. Stop chasing. Stop worrying. Stop waiting. Start becoming the person he can't resist. Because here's the truth. When you focus on yourself, when you elevate your energy, when you become the best version of you, he will come back 100%. Not because you begged, not because you chased, but because you became undeniable. So go out there and make it happen. Because this isn't just about getting him back. This is about claiming your power in life. Let's go. Belief is the foundation of everything we create in life, including relationships. If you believe without a doubt that he will come back, your mind and body will naturally align with that certainty. But here's where most people go wrong. They let doubt creep in. They overanalyze. They question every action, every text, every moment of silence. And what happens? That uncertainty projects outward, pushing the other person even further away. Let's break this down. Your beliefs shape your emotions shape your behavior, and your behavior determines your results. This means if you believe deep down that you are worthy, that you are valuable, that you are the kind of person someone would never want to lose, you will naturally act in a way that reinforces that reality. You will move with confidence, radiate self-assurance, and carry an energy that is magnetic. But if you believe the opposite, that you're not enough, that you need him, that your happiness depends on his return, your actions will reflect that desperation. And let's be clear, desperation repels. Confidence attracts. Think about this in terms of business. Why do people pay premium prices for luxury brands? It's not just about the product, it's about the perception of value. Those brands believe in their worth, and because of that belief, they never chase customers. Instead, customers chase them. And the same principle applies to relationships. If you carry yourself with the energy of someone who is valuable, someone who is rare, someone who is a prize, then others will begin to perceive you that way. And perception is reality. Now, this doesn't mean you should just sit back, cross your fingers, and hope he comes back. This is not about wishful thinking. This is about embodying certainty. When you embody certainty, you don't overthink his every move. You don't panic if he doesn't call or text. You don't feel the need to prove your worth to him. Why? Because you already know your worth. You know that whether he comes back or not, you are going to be just fine. And paradoxically, it's that exact mindset that makes it more likely for him to return. When someone walks away from a relationship, they expect you to be devastated. They expect you to chase. They expect you to feel lost without them. And if you confirm those expectations, if you plead, if you beg, if you break down, you reinforce their belief that they were the stronger party in the relationship. But if you hold your ground, if you remain calm, if you continue living as if you are unshaken, that disrupts their expectation. That makes them rethink their decision. That makes them wonder, wait, did I make a mistake? Because here's the truth. People do not miss you when you are still chasing them. They miss you when they feel your absence. But true absence isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's psychological. If you continue obsessing over him, even if you're not texting him, that energy still lingers. But when you genuinely shift your mindset, when you fully embrace the belief that you are worthy, that you are enough, that you are in control of your life, you create a powerful emotional gap. And that gap is what makes someone realize your true value. Now you might be thinking, but what if I believe and he still doesn't come back? That's the wrong question. The question should be, how can I believe in myself so deeply that it no longer matters whether he comes back or not? Because when you reach that level of confidence, when you reach that level of self-certainty, not only do you increase the chances of him returning, you also open yourself up to something even greater. The people who get the best relationships, the strongest connections, the most fulfilling love stories are not the ones who chase. They are the ones who attract. They are the ones who move through life with the kind of energy that makes others want to be around them. And that energy starts with belief. So from this moment forward, stop doubting, stop second guessing, stop looking for signs and start being the sign. When you truly believe in your own worth, the world has no choice but to respond accordingly. Emotions are the driving force behind every decision we make, every action we take, and every relationship we engage in. If you do not control your emotions, they will control you. And when emotions take over in a way that is chaotic, desperate, or uncertain, they can push away the very thing you desire most. This is why mastering your emotions is not just important, it is essential. The way you feel internally determines the energy you project externally, and that energy is what influences how people respond to you. Think about a moment when you were deeply emotional, whether it was fear, anger, sadness, or desperation. What did that emotion make you do? Chances are it led you to react impulsively, say things you later regretted, or behave in a way that wasn't aligned with your true self. Now apply this to relationships. When someone pulls away, when someone leaves, when someone stops giving you the attention you once had, the natural instinct is the panic. Your emotions scream at you to do something. Call them, text them, chase them, demand answers. But what you have to understand is that emotions do not always lead to the right action. In fact, in moments like these, they often lead to exactly the wrong action. If you allow anxiety and fear to dictate your decisions, you will likely end up repelling the very person you want to bring back. Desperation, insecurity, and emotional instability are deeply unattractive, not because people don't care about your feelings, but because they sense that you are not in control of yourself. And if you are not in control of yourself, how can you expect to build a stable, fulfilling connection? People are drawn to certainty, to confidence, to emotional stability. If you want someone to come back, the first thing you need to do is create an internal environment that is strong, unshaken, and in command of itself. When you control your emotions, you control the outcome. Imagine two versions of yourself. In one version, you are anxious, constantly refreshing your phone, overthinking every interaction, wondering what he is doing, why he isn't texting, and if he still cares. In this state, you are a prisoner to your emotions. And because you feel uncertain, you start taking actions that reflect that uncertainty. Maybe you text him too much. Maybe you over-apologize. Maybe you try to force conversations that aren't naturally happening. And the more you do this, the more he pulls away, not because he doesn't care, but because the energy you are giving off is one of neediness rather than attraction. Now, picture the second version of yourself. In this version, you feel everything, the pain, the confusion, the sadness, but instead of letting those emotions control you, you acknowledge them, process them, and choose to act from a place of strength. Instead of reacting impulsively, you take a deep breath. Instead of reaching out frantically, you step back and give space. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, you focus on what you can gain. Growth, clarity, self-improvement. This version of you is in control. And this version of you is the one that will naturally draw him back, because nothing is more powerful than someone who is calm, composed, and radiating confidence. The truth is, people are not attracted to chaos, they are attracted to certainty. When you are in control of your emotions, you exude a sense of self-assurance that is magnetic. You send a subconscious message that says, I am fine with or without you. I am whole on my own. And paradoxically, it is this very mindset that makes someone want to be around you even more. Because people don't want to feel responsible for your happiness. They want to be drawn into it. Mastering your emotions does not mean suppressing them. It does not mean pretending you don't care or acting indifferent. It means feeling everything fully, but making sure that your actions come from logic, not just emotion. It means taking a step back before reacting, making decisions that serve your long-term well-being, and refusing to let temporary feelings dictate your future. The more you train yourself to do this, the more power you have, not just in relationships, but in life. This is why emotional mastery is one of the most important skills you can ever develop. It determines how people perceive you, how they respond to you, and whether they are drawn towards you or pushed away. If you want him to come back, the first step is not to chase him, is to master yourself, because when you do, everything else follows naturally. Distance is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. When something is always available, it becomes ordinary, but when something is scarce, it becomes valuable. This is a fundamental principle of attraction. What we cannot easily have, we tend to desire more. This is why pulling back, creating space, and allowing distance to work in your favor is one of the most effective ways to rekindle interest and make someone return. When a relationship ends or someone starts to pull away, the natural instinct is to close the gap. You feel the loss, you feel the uncertainty, and your mind tells you, do something, fix this, reach out. But this is where most people make their biggest mistake. Instead of respecting the space, they chase. They send long messages. They call repeatedly. They try to force conversations that aren't happening naturally. And what does this do? It pushes the other person further away. Not because they necessarily stop caring, but because there is no chance for them to feel what it's like to miss you. Human nature is driven by contrast. We appreciate warmth because we know what it's like to be cold. We enjoy light because we've experienced darkness. In the same way, someone can only truly appreciate your presence when they have felt your absence. This is why distance works. It gives the other person time to reflect, to compare life with you and life without you, to start questioning their decision. If you are constantly there, reminding them of what they walked away from, they have no reason to reconsider. But when you disappear, when you stop initiating, stop chasing, stop being predictable, you create a void. And that void is what triggers curiosity, nostalgia, and eventually the desire to reconnect. Now, this isn't about playing games or using manipulation. It's about understanding how human attraction works. If you step back with the right mindset, you are not just creating physical distance, you are also signaling that you are a person of value. You are showing that you are not desperate, that you are not dependent on their presence to feel whole, and that you have the self-respect to walk away when necessary. And that energy is powerful. People respect and are drawn to those who respect themselves. The key to making distance work is not just about waiting, it's about what you do during that time. Some people make the mistake of stepping back physically, but not mentally. They spend all their time obsessing, checking social media, wondering what the other person is doing, and secretly hoping for a sign. But true distance means shifting your focus away from them and back onto yourself. It means using this time to grow, to evolve, to improve in ways that make you naturally more attractive. And now, when they do check in on you, whether it's through social media or mutual friends, what they should see is not someone sitting around waiting, but someone thriving. One of the most common fears people have is, what if I pull back and they forget about me? But the truth is, people don't forget those who have made an impact on them. They forget those who make themselves too easy to take for granted. If you've had a meaningful connection with someone, stepping away does not erase that, it magnifies it. Because when they realize you are no longer trying to keep them, they start to wonder, wait, why isn't this person chasing me? Why aren't they trying to fix things? Have they moved on? And that uncertainty is what sparks curiosity. This is why distance is not just about creating space, it's about shifting the dynamic. Instead of you being the one trying to get their attention, you become the one who is missed. Instead of being the person who is always available, you become the person they start thinking about when they're alone, when they hear a certain song, when they visit a place you used to go together. These moments only happen when they have the time and space to reflect. If you truly want someone to come back, you have to be willing to walk away, not as a tactic, but as a statement of your own worth. You have to trust that if the connection is real, they will feel the absence. And if they don't, then that in itself is your answer. But more often than not, when you give people space, they start to see things differently. They start to appreciate what they had. They start to want it back. So don't be afraid to step back. Let distance do its work. Because if you give someone the chance to miss you, you give them the chance to want you back. People are naturally drawn to growth. We are inspired by transformation, captivated by progress, and magnetized by those who are constantly evolving into the best versions of themselves. If you want someone to return, the most powerful thing you can do is shift the focus away from them and onto yourself. Because when you become the best version of yourself, you naturally create a gravitational pull that makes others want to be around you. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to get someone back is staying stuck in the same place, hoping that the other person will eventually notice or change their mind. But the truth is, people don't return to what is stagnant. They return to what is growing, thriving, and exciting. Think about it. What happens when you see an old friend after a long time and they're exactly the same, talking about the same problems, doing the same thing, stuck in the same cycle? You feel no sense of urgency to reconnect. But if that same friend has completely transformed, if they've developed new skills, improved their mindset, built an incredible life, you suddenly feel drawn to them. You want to know more. You want to be part of their journey. This is how human psychology works, and it applies to relationships just as much as friendships. When someone leaves a relationship or starts to pull away, they often assume that they've already experienced everything there is to experience with that person. They think they know you completely. But when you commit to growth, you disrupt that belief. You create a version of yourself that they haven't fully seen before. A version that is stronger, wiser, more confident, and more exciting. And this change sparks curiosity. It makes them wonder what else they might be missing. The key is to focus on real, meaningful growth, not just surface level changes meant to get their attention. This means taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. It means developing new skills, exploring new interests, setting new goals, and expanding your world. It means proving to yourself, not just to them, that you are capable of becoming more than who you were yesterday. When you do this, the energy you give off naturally shifts. You stop operating from a place of neediness and start radiating self-sufficiency. You stop feeling like you have to convince someone to come back and start realizing that if they don't, it's their loss. This shift in energy is powerful because confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have. Confidence doesn't come from pretending you don't care. It comes from genuinely knowing your worth. It comes from looking in the mirror and seeing someone who is growing, learning, and becoming stronger every single day. And when you reach this level, people take notice. Even if they don't say anything right away, they feel it. They sense the change. They see the difference in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you engage with the world. A common mistake people make in this process is growing with the sole intention of winning the other person back. But real, lasting transformation happens when you do it for you. When you make the decision that no matter what happens, you are going to level up because you deserve to, not because you're waiting for someone to validate you. And ironically, this is the exact mindset that makes someone want to come back. So when they see that you are thriving without them, when they realize that you are no longer sitting around waiting for their approval, it forces them to question everything. It makes them wonder if they made a mistake. It makes them want to be part of your journey again. If you truly want to create attraction, don't chase love, chase excellence. Build a life so full and fulfilling that whether they come back or not, you are still winning. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to get them back. It's to become so extraordinary that the right person, whether it's them or someone even better, will naturally be drawn to you. Your energy is your most powerful tool in attracting people, opportunities, and even rekindling lost connections. Energy is not just about what you say or do, it's about what you radiate. It's the invisible force that influences how people perceive you, how they feel around you, and whether they are drawn to you or repelled by you. If you want someone to come back, you must first shift your energy into a place of strength, positivity, and self-assurance. Because ultimately, people are not drawn to words, they are drawn to feeling. Think about the last time you met someone who had incredible energy. Maybe they weren't the most physically attractive person in the room, but something about them made them magnetic. They had a presence that was undeniable. Whether it was confidence, warmth, or a sense of purpose, you couldn't help but be intrigued. That's the power of energy. On the flip side, think about a time when you were around someone who was negative, insecure, or desperate for validation. Their energy likely made you uncomfortable, even if they didn't say anything directly. When relationships end, most people unknowingly operate from an energy of lack. They focus on what's missing, on what they've lost, on the fear of being alone. This creates an aura of neediness and desperation, even if they try to hide it. And this is the exact energy that pushes people away. Because when you operate from a place of lack, you send the subconscious message that you are incomplete, that you need someone else to feel whole. But attraction works in the opposite way. People are drawn to those who are already full, who already radiate happiness, confidence, and purpose. This is why the first step in shifting your energy is letting go of the desperation to get them back. The more you obsess over their return, the more you reinforce the idea that you are lacking something. Instead, you must embody the belief that you are already complete. That whether they come back or not, your life is abundant, exciting, and full of possibility. This doesn't mean pretending you don't care or suppressing your feelings. It means truly embracing the idea that you are in control of your happiness, not them. One of the best ways to shift your energy is by focusing on things that genuinely light you up. When you engage in activities that bring you joy, whether it's pursuing a passion, working on personal growth, or surrounding yourself with uplifting people, you naturally elevate your vibration. You stop operating from a place of sadness and start moving into a space of fulfillment. And when you do this, people feel the difference. They may not be able to explain it, but they will sense that something about you has changed, and that change will make them curious. Energy also plays a role in how you communicate. If you reach out to someone from a place of fear, afraid of losing them, afraid of being ignored, afraid of rejection, that energy will come through in your words, your tone, even your body language. But if you come from a place of strength, fully secure in yourself, with no fear of the outcome, that energy will be felt as well. The key is to get to a place where your energy is so high, so powerful, that whether or not they return is no longer the most important thing to you. Because when you reach that level, that is exactly when they are most likely to come back. Attraction is not about chasing, it's about alignment. When you align yourself with confidence, purpose, and joy, the right people naturally gravitate toward you. This is why shifting your energy is not just about getting someone back, it's about transforming yourself into the kind of person who naturally attracts love, respect, and admiration. And once you master this, not only will you increase the chances of them returning, you will also open yourself up to something even better. The power of patience and timing in relationships cannot be overstated. Too often, people ruin their chances of reconciliation by acting out of impatience, trying to force a resolution before it's time. But the truth is, when emotions are high and wounds are fresh, pushing for immediate answers or trying to rush the process only creates more resistance. If you want someone to come back, you must understand that timing is everything. You have to trust the natural flow of events, allow space for emotions to settle, and give the other person the opportunity to choose to return rather than feeling pressured into it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that if they don't act immediately, they will be forgotten. But the reality is emotions don't just disappear overnight. If you had a meaningful connection with someone, they are not going to erase those memories just because you aren't constantly reminding them. In fact, giving them time and space is what allows them to truly feel your absence and reflect on what you meant to them. People often don't realize the value of something until they experience life without it. But if you keep inserting yourself into their space, they never get the chance to fully process what it means to be without you. Patience is powerful because it shows confidence. When you are in a rush, constantly checking in, seeking validation, or trying to speed up the process, you communicate insecurity. It signals that you don't trust the connection enough to let it breathe, that you are afraid they will move on if you don't intervene. But when you step back and allow time to do its work, you send the opposite message. You show that you are secure enough in yourself to wait, that you believe in your own value, and that you don't need to force anything. This shift in energy can make all the difference. Timing matters because people process emotions differently. When a breakup or separation happens, each person experiences it in their own way. Sometimes one person needs space to work through their thoughts and feelings before they can even consider reconnecting. If you try to rush in before they are emotionally ready, you risk overwhelming them. But if you allow them to move at their own pace, you give them the opportunity to come to you from a place of genuine desire rather than obligation. The key to mastering timing is focusing on yourself in the meantime. Waiting passively, doing nothing, and obsessing over when they will return is not productive. Instead, you need to use this time to grow, to evolve, to strengthen your mindset. Work on becoming the best version of yourself, not for them, but for you. When they do come back, they should find someone who has grown, someone who has become even more attractive, confident, and secure in themselves. This is what creates a lasting impact. People often fear that if they wait too long, they will lose their chance. But the truth is, if the connection was real, patience will only strengthen it. What is meant for you will not pass you by. If someone truly cares, time apart will only clarify their feelings, not erase them. And if they don't return, then that is a sign that they were not the right person for you in the first place. Either way, patience ensures that when they do come back, it is on solid ground with both of you in the right state of mind to rebuild something even stronger. Trusting the process is one of the hardest but most important things you can do. It requires faith in yourself, in the connection you shared, and in the idea that what is meant for you will find its way back in the right time. If you can master patience, you not only increase the chances of them returning, but you also build a level of emotional strength that will serve you in every area of your life. Because real confidence comes from knowing that you don't have to chase anything. What is truly yours will come to you when the time is right. At the end of the day, the power to bring someone back isn't about tricks, desperation, or trying to manipulate emotions. It's about understanding human nature, valuing yourself, and creating an energy so strong that it naturally draws people towards you. If you truly want someone to return, the key isn't chasing them, it's becoming someone they want to come back to. By embracing distance, you allow them to miss you. By focusing on your own growth, you make yourself more attractive. By shifting your energy from lack to abundance, you change the way people perceive you. And by mastering patience, you allow things to unfold in their own time without forcing the outcome. All of these elements combined create the perfect environment for someone to realize your worth and feel the pull to return. But here's the most important part. This isn't just about getting them back. This is about you. This is about becoming a person who is confident, fulfilled.